So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So, summer has begun for me, so I finally have time to actually take care of stuff. I put on hold one of those is overhaul my membership because I do have a YouTube membership, and it's not going away, but it's going to get toned down a bit. So my idea for my membership was to make my tier list like the big draw of it. But this turned out to not work too well. The main issue is that, like, in my opinion, the best way to have a tier list is to get a lot of feedback. But locking it behind members meant that there were not many people able to give feedback. And I tried to do like some tier list streams, but I understand that people who can't actually watch the actual tier list might not care a lot about them. So yeah, I'm going to do what I probably should have done from the start and make it so members get the tier list one day early and the rest get it one day later. So everybody will be able to take part of my tier list, and I hope this generates some interest. And with that interest, I intend to update more properly, like for the last 3 months or so. I mainly put in new stuff. I haven't really changed the existing stuff by like taking points away or giving more points, stuff like that. Also, I made quite a few tier list videos up until this point, including those are a super extensive video going through like every single tier. So if you're interested in that, because in this video I'm not going through any units, points or such, feel free to view them. I have unlisted all of them by the time this video goes up. So if you join my Discord and you click tier list, all of those videos should be watchable now by clicking on the links. With that said, you might wonder, like, how does this tier list work? And yeah, here we have a sheet. I will link this in the description as well, and it should be in the description of all of my videos. It's also on my tier list chat in my Discord, and basically every legend in the game gets judged from 10 different ways. We have their PvP viability, treasure map viability, Superboss viability, PKA viability in other modes. And basically for PvP, treasure map, Superboss, PKA, the way I'm seeing it as is that if the unit has had a legit niche sometime the last year, in my book, that's good enough to give a point. For other modes, it's mostly like, are you a top leader in Grand Party, or are you very important for some Grand Voyage? In the future, maybe I'll consider co-op there. I think that's a bit early though. So those are the ways to get points in other modes. The other points are a bit more about what the units actually do. Captain ability, this includes like the numbers, the resistances you get, how good the super is, and yeah, basically it needs to be meta in some way, like there is reasons why you want to use the unit as captain. Special, basically how good the special is, how meta it is. Like for this one we only look at the special. Crewmate viability might sound weird, but basically some units are basically forced to be captain, which is pretty bad for them long term, since captain multipliers go up, we get better captains. So if they can't be good subs, that doesn't really help. In crewmate viability, I also usually take into consideration stuff like super tandem, final tap, rush, stuff like that. Uniqueness, basically how unique the unit is. So like a unit giving a 1 turn attack boost and not much else isn't going to get a point here. Might still be a good unit, but there will be other options. So yeah, just something that not many other units can replicate. Then we have the Chauzu point, which I'm free to give at my own discretion for whatever reason I want. In this doc, I've written down the reason for myself, but it's been pointed out to me that people can't read my comments, which is oversight on my part. We'll see if I go through that in the summer, but otherwise, you're always free to ask me. Ask me in the Discord, ask me in the tier list videos, ask me when I do my tier list stream, which I intend to keep going. It will be the main occasion when I overhaul the tier list. As part of my tier list, I've also been doing like 2 tier lists per month. The other one has been chosen by the community, so I'll probably keep doing that. It's a bit more traditional, like this is my own spin on things. And I know this tier list has frustrated quite a few people, mostly because like it ends up not looking like other tier lists. Like if we go up to the top, the current top of my tier list, like it feels like a lot of people see the kid there and then they insta exit basically. But like the idea with this tier list is to try and keep it as objective as possible. Of course, it's impossible to be completely objective, but instead of like not giving any numbers at all, like trying to value one leading compared to the other really hard, and it gets super subjective, I'd say. I don't really watch other people's tier list, but when it gets posted sometimes, I can also be like, why is this unit over this unit? And you can't say why, but for every unit here, like, here is an answer why they are in the tier they are, and it's because I deem them worth to get a point. And I guess for this video we can take the bull by the horns. We can take a look at one single unit. We can take a look at the kid, I guess, because I do think he is going to lose points eventually. Maybe he will have lost points if I updated it in a while. But yeah, here's VGK, so PvP. I felt like this was going to be dropped, but with Int getting a resurgence, so is Kid. He's still one of the better units, even if he's super frustrating. Treasure map, speedrun captain. Also decent special, no utility though. Can't say I've used him myself, so this point is in jeopardy, I guess. I do feel like the super boss point still pretty legit. Maybe not on the best teams, but on a bit weaker teams where you want to use Driven. It gives a lot to the table. You can ignore orb manip, for example. You keep those tandem orbs, which are very valuable. You have a very decent super tandem option that is accessible. PKA, also mainly the unchangeable orbs. If you use him as captain, you can speed it up. I'm pretty sure I've used him as captain in the last year, so I feel good about that. And yeah, he's good for 1 Grand Voyage, which is an easy one, but it's still a Grand Voyage. Captain ability is probably getting old. Doesn't help that he doesn't have any utility. And the super is not super great even evermore, so I can definitely see him dropping that in the next revision. I do think the special is good enough. Perfect locking orbs is great. Like, it would have been better if he great locked them or good locked them, but he also gives you tandem orbs, which is usually what you'd prefer to get. Can be a good sub, but at the same time it's not the main reason you use him, but he doesn't really lose anything from being sub. So uniqueness, yeah, -3 speedrun still pretty unique, especially with a kit that is actually pretty usable. And I like him myself, so he got a point. Like -3 CD captain, big back in the day. Like now we have 10th Annie Ace, who kinda changes the definition of a speedrun cap. So, but yeah, basically this is how I've done with every unit, giving them points. So every unit on the tier list, if you're wondering why they get points, what they do, feel free to check that out. I don't think there's many other top tier units that are much questionable. Maybe Sabo, but I feel like people who know, they know, like he's really good. And Uta, like I feel like I've done a good job showing how good this Uta is. Like I've basically been able to make good use of her in like every Pride King adventure. Used her last Kisana, can be usable in treasure map. Like it's an amazing unit, both the Uta are. And then there might be some who wonder why my favorite unit does not get 10 points. Maybe the 10th anniversary Luffy, or the Annie Blackbeard here, or the global Annie Blackbeard we got. Like, there are definitely things you can disagree with, but hey, that's what's fun. But yeah, I hope this becomes a bit of a resurgence for this tier list. And after making this video, I'm actually going to record next month's tier list, and it will go up tomorrow, but today for my members. And for my members, I thank you for the support. If you feel like the membership is not worth it anymore, feel free to cancel. That's up to you. My membership is really cheap. It's like $2 a month, but I just want a lot of members. That will be the most fun, I'd say. I also have some higher tiers. The second tier gives you permanent access to my friend list as long as you stay subscribed. And even if you unsubscribe, it's not like I will remove you right away. And if you go for the third tier, it's like $10 a month. That's basically just to show support, and you get to be in a private Discord to me. And I'm sure that previous members of this tier 3 membership can say it's been worth it. I've been very active, happy to answer, happy to help in any way possible. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Look forward to the tier list update tomorrow. And if you want it right now, feel free to become a member, and it's available. But otherwise, you have to wait today. And I'll see you in a week or two when we'll do a tier list feedback stream where we start working on the August tier list. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.